A look at the TikTok algorithms. Should it be banned? Hello, this is ChatGPT today. Looking at the TikTok and looking at some of the algorithms that make it run a little bit under the scenes, there's been a lot of charges that TikTok is being owned by the Chinese or controlling our America's youth. This is primarily a platform targeted at the youth. Most of it is kind of odd, just kind of kids being kids and kind of going into a mimic. They mimic each other's videos. Of course, they've been charged here. Oh, here's an article in Bloomberg that TikTok viral challenges keep luring young kids to their deaths, encouraging them to do crazy things. I remember the tie-dye, people eating tie-dyes and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And so they've been charged with encouraging these kinds of behaviors, while at the same time being really draconian on certain views to ensure that America, and some people would say, encourages the downfall of America by making sure that other views that are more probably stable and have a counter the alternative kind of woke or craziness that you see on TikTok doesn't survive. Take a look at here. Here's a chart on its growth. Done very well. You can see where it's going to catch up with YouTube by 2024. Where some of the other platforms, Twitter, Snapchat, and YouTube, are just rising gradually there. So they've been getting a lot of boost. Is it because they've been being helped by the Chinese government, or is it really that organic? Here's a chart on globally where countries have either had partial bans, temporary bans, or full bans. Of course, India and Afghanistan is fully banned it. But there's quite a few countries where it's been partial banned, mostly EU and the United States and New Zealand, some of the Asian countries. So it's come under a lot of fire here, and somebody is trying to reverse and convince they're using it as a way to control the youth, and maybe using it as a primary weapon to disrupt culture, to soften up a potential enemy of the CCP in China. That's the charge. So we've had our own experiences here, so we thought we'd share that with you here. We've been posting some of our videos at ChatGPT today on TikTok, just as kind of an experiment, and we were doing fine. As you can see in the details, we've been getting 200, 300, 400 views per video, and then we noticed we got a couple strikes. We got 1, 2, 3, and as soon as we got the third strike, they obviously started our shadow ban, because all the videos just started to drop almost near zero. And so we can tell that and most of these videos are pretty weak sauce. The last video here was really weak sauce. So if you go back and look at those videos, they weren't that controversial. However, they were trying to perhaps promote information that would help people in the cultural and the political sphere, and they don't want that on their platform, and so they ban it. So this is again engineering. And those videos, by the way, did not get banned on YouTube or Facebook. And of course, so we stopped altogether posting there, because it's clearly a platform that is heavily influenced in terms of how they're censored compared to other platforms, and they will allow other things that are quite harmful. So there's clearly something going on TikTok, no question about it. So we've kind of gone onto a self-ban. We're not going to play with it anymore. Here's what Americans think about TikTok. They have WeChat there, but TikTok, basically 38%. Have no opinion, but 29 said it should be banned. 33% it says it should. Give an example how they shape the narrative here. You can see that older people by far support Israel versus Hamas in the current conflict, where if you go to the youth, it's very different, from 52-48. And of course, the charge there has been manipulated by social media to believe those things. And one last anecdotal thing here. Influence of the influencers. Everyone have been improving their influence capabilities, all except China, because in TikTok there's a version of it, but it's greatly changed in China. China doesn't allow these kinds of platforms to allow these influencers to control the mind. So you can see that they themselves don't use their own platform that they're pushing onto the rest of the world. Interesting point there. Go to our post link in the description box, and you'll get a link there to show what the AI says and how effective shadow banning is, which I guess we have been shadow banned on TikTok. And take our online poll: should TikTok be banned or not in the U.S. and around the world? Is it a mechanism to to basically attack the youth of a country. Don't forget to subscribe.